And you said Harris's crowd sizes were AI and that there weren't people there. There's all kinds of video evidence and people who were there who've proven that false. Can you tell us about why you made that claim?
Well, I can't say what was there, who was there. I can only tell you about ours. We have the biggest crowds ever in the history of politics. We have crowds that nobody's ever seen before.
Okay, but you can tell what was there because the evidence is indisputable, okay? There's video, there's photos. There's videos and photos that the campaign put out. There's videos and photos that media outlets put out. There's videos and photos that right-wing media outlets have put out. There's people in the crowd that are holding up their cameras and spinning around. You can see all the people. You weren't there. And look, if this is the beginning of like a newfound intellectual humility on the part of Donald Trump, where he's like, I wasn't there, it wasn't my lived experience, so I don't want to attest to it, then fine, I'm willing to get on that train. But I don't think that's what it is. I think that this is his cowardly, impotent way of continuing that conspiracy theory. He knows that it's debunked, and so he doesn't want to like say it again just yet. In particular, he doesn't want to say it where a reporter can ask a follow-up question. He'll probably go back to Truth Social and post about it this weekend, but he doesn't want to say it. But he does, again, he doesn't have the testicular fortitude to just be like, you know what? I saw someone saying that online and I looked at the image and I thought I saw some of the sort of like telltale indications that it was AI. Like I thought I saw that like a hand was wrong. And so I got caught up in it and I need to do better. In fact, I think a lot of us need better media literacy because of the spread of AI. And so sorry about that. That's my mistake and my bad, but I'll do better in the future. He could have done that, or some other man could have done that. He can't do that. And so that's what you get instead.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
To the other side of what he said, once he moved on from continuing the conspiracy theory, he said, the only thing I can talk about is my own crowds because we have the biggest crowds. No, you don't, and I think you know that. I think that's why you're so angry. You don't, okay? And I'm not just talking about like last weekend's crowds. I'm talking about the crowds he's pulling right now. And so he had a rally in Asheville. And here's a headline from the Atlanta Voice. Small crowd, no problem. Trump rally in Asheville, an intimate affair. And look, on the one hand, I'm glad that he's having some sort of intimate affair. I know that he's not getting those opportunities with Melania, and I don't think he has the time to set up another extramarital affair. And so it's good that he's having some intimacy. But I do think small crowd is a problem for him. I think that's the last headline he wants to see. And would you like to see a shot of the rally? Okay, this is the Thomas Wolfe Auditorium, and you can see it right there, okay? It has a capacity of 2,431. And let me just say, I can have humility. Were I to do a live event and were I to pack the bleachers of Thomas Wolfe Auditorium with 2,400 people, I would be quite happy with myself. It would be great to be surrounded by you amazing people, a couple thousand of you there. I don't think that's what he felt when he went out there. I don't think that's what he felt when he gazed upon that crowd. If we could put up the photo again, it is a perfectly decent sized auditorium. It reminds me of, I went to UT Austin. It reminds me of the annex to our gym where the women's volleyball team played. And it was cool. It was like an intimate place. You'd go and the stands would be packed. It's that sort of level. And that's great, and there's nothing wrong with that, except if you're the sort of guy that constantly claims that you're drawing bigger audiences than MLK Jr. Because that ain't 20,000 people, that ain't 50,000 people, that's a couple of thousand people, and that's it, and that should be fine. But I know for Donald Trump, it's not going to be. But I almost wonder, coming out of 2 weeks, and I'll close on this, coming out of 2 weeks of him spreading these conspiracy theories about how big his crowds are, why in hell, for one of the few rallies he's gonna do this week, would he book such a small auditorium? Why would he do that? You by definition cannot have a huge crowd there. And remember, it's not like he doesn't have some supporters. He's had big crowds, not the big crowds he says he does, but big crowds that actually were there. My theory is, I think he sees those photos going around of him with 10,000 people, but there's empty seats, and I think that gets under his skin. I think he wants to make sure there's no chance of an empty seat. And I also think he likes being able to say that they turned people away at the door. I think that's very important to him. And so rather than having a little bit of self-confidence and booking a big arena and trusting that you can fill it, I think he's gonna go to the small ones so he can say they're full and so he can say that he turned away people, because that's not as impressive, but I think it makes him feel a little bit warmer in his stomach. And I think that's where he's going to go for the rest of this race. We'll see, I could be wrong. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.